Okay. Good evening, students. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Hello. Okay, right. So then I assigned you some work. Now, before that, I thought of recapitulating what we have done, what we did last week, not 2 days before. Could you find some action research conducted in different parts of the world? I assigned you some work. How many of them could do that? Finding an action research, and I ask you to do some activities based on that. Could you do or you couldn't do? How many of them could do? Out of 5? No, there are only 3. 9:30. Now there are only right. So then there are only 3 today. So then out of these 3, could you find some information related to action research? Tell me genuinely whether you could do or couldn't do.
Sorry, madam. Actually, I couldn't do because the time is not enough.
That's yes. Okay, it doesn't matter. Right. So, do you want me to recap what we did previous week about action research, or can we go to directly to see a research? What would you prefer? Do you want me to just go through what we did last week and go to a research? What would you prefer?
Okay, madam.
Which one?
Yes, madam. If you can do a summary.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Right. So then we can have a discussion like thing. Right. So then who conducts, you can just talk to me, then it's easy for me. Said, who conduct action research? Who conduct action research? The name implies action means that we do something, we implement something. Who conduct them? Can you see the screen?
Yes, madam.
So now you can read what is in the screen, what is on the screen, and then you can answer. Then you will remember if you talk. Okay, who conduct action research? Action research are conducted by professionals, right? So then professionals in different fields. So then who are the professionals in education? Teachers.
Teachers.
Yeah, lecturers, and they are the professionals in education. So they do action research. Then through action research, now we can do action research related to what? Being teachers. For what we can do action research? What are the correct action research? We can test about the effectiveness of teaching methodology. What else? Teaching methodology එකක effective ද කියලා බලන්න අපිට test කරන්න පුළුවන්. What else? So we can identify problems. Now we can, when we are teaching, I told you that now when you are teaching to your students, you can identify some shortcomings in your children. So like poor reading ability, that means reading difficulties, writing difficulties, grammar, then the students are reluctant to be in groups. So you can write down some problems that you encounter in the classroom. Out of all these problems, you can select the most burning problem for you to find some solutions, right? So, being a teacher, what kind of problems do you encounter in the classroom? Tell me the problems, because then what I do is that I make you think of these problems and enable you to think of a topic. Topic research check. Okay, tell me now in a classroom, what kind of problem? Think of your classrooms. If you're not teaching, think of a problem. Are you all teaching in classes?
Yes, madam.
Then it's easy. Right. Okay. Now think of some problems that you encounter in the classroom. One of you talk, then I can go to others. Okay, Kinakia.
Less number of present in the classroom.
That means absenteeism. Students,
Yes, ma'am.
students absenteeism. Right? Okay. Now they are reluctant to come to school. Right. What else?
Pay less attention while teaching.
Okay. Less attention of the students for what subject? What's the subject?
Mathematics.
Mathematics. Paying less attention to mathematics. Then what are the other subjects? Other problems?
Do mischievous activities to get the attraction.
Yes. The students are trying to get the attention of the teacher. Right. Then
Some they have eyesight problems, so they
yes.
feel difficult to look at the board.
That means poor vision.
Yeah.
So it is something related to that their physical problem. So you can't help them with that. So what you can do is you can direct him for a doctor.
Yeah, but when they are wearing spectacles also, like most of them, like we will have to wait until they write. Like in my class, there are about 6 students.
Then what can
They are wearing spectacles. Yeah. So we have to wait until they finish.
So
It's very
that's
hard
easy.
to
In that case,
look
you
at
can
the
take
board.
them to the front seats. That's the solution you can do. Because through an action research, you can't do anything with them because that is their physical problem. So that is related to something physical problem. So that should be solved by referring to a doctor, whatever it is. But in your case, you can take them to the front seats and let them listen to or get the closer to you, closer to the board, and let them do the work. Here, that you should be able to do some actions to improve their activities. So that if your students are reluctant to be in good groups or work in groups, you can take that. If the students can't read, if they are poor, they show poor ability of reading, you can take them. If they find very difficult to write, if they have writing difficulties or problems about with grammar, right? So those things you can take. Right now, think of a problem. Action research check karan. Think of a problem now. Right. So then you have to think of a problem when I keep on continuing the rest of the thing, and then I'm going to show you an action research conducted by a teacher. Then it's easy for you to think of your research. Now you think of a problem. I am going to do this. This is a burning problem in my class. Out of all the problems, this is the most burning problem to me. So I want to find solutions to this. Problem, right? So then, right, okay, we go to the next one. right? So then action research is done to solve a problem, right? Or individual problem or a community-based problem. So then this is what the teachers find some difficulties or problems and they do action research to solve them, right? Action research address practical problems in a specific school or classroom, right? So we are addressing practical problems in action, right? So then, so it is focusing on a problem and we solve it through some activities, right? Right. So there are so many action research models. You can take, I will send this to you today. You can take any model, but we are using the most prevalent model, that is Kurt-Levin's model, which has planning, acting, observing, and reflecting, right? Within Kurt-Levin's approach of action research is a research method in which the researcher intervenes in and during the research. This serves two purposes. Firstly, according to Kurt-Lewin, it will bring about positive change, and secondly, knowledge and theory will be generated. So this is the model that we use in action research. Right. So then if we consider about the differences between other researchers and action researchers, in other researchers, they are done by expert researchers. Action researchers are done by any practitioner. Practitioner means teachers. You are practicing the thing. That means teachers, lecturers. Like. So then other research that we do, theory building through our research, but here we focus on day-to-day practice. Then fundamental research take long time, but we do action research in a short duration, maximum 6 months. Then in fundamental research, we take random sample, but here purposive sample, because our purpose is to improve the students. There are 6 students, but they are purposive sample. Purpose. So then fundamental research, evaluation is done by experts, but in action research, evaluation done by the practitioner, teacher or the lecturer. In fundamental research, standardized tools are used. Question එකක් ගත්තත් ඒක standardize එකක් කරන කවුරු හරි standard එක practically ඒක use කරලා ඒක මේ පිළිගත් එකක් වෙන්නේ. But here in action research, teacher can use any tool. Teacher made tools are used. So then in fundamental research, complex and rigid research designs are used, but in action research, they are very simple and flexible designs. Right, so these are the differences between action research and other researchers. Training need is necessary for researchers, for others, but for action research, it's not necessary. So these are the things. So this is the Kurt-Levin's model, planning, acting, implementing, a plan implement karna, then observe karna whether it is successful or not, and reflect karna whether there are shortcomings. Then according to the shortcomings, we plan again. So it goes on like a spiral, like this. Planning, acting, observing, reflecting, I planning, I plan, right? It goes on in a spiral manner. Right? So we can do like this, planning stage. In the planning stage, we identify and limit the topic. So we narrow down the topic. We don't take a very broad one. Then we get the information like that. We can give them a pre-test. Then from reviewing the literature, so we see what kind of techniques they have used for this problem. Then we develop the plan. Then after that, collect data and analyze data during the implementation. During the implementation, we collect data. Then developing stage, developing an action plan, then reflecting, sharing the results, then reflect on the process. So now you can either take this one or the Kurt Lewin is the best, right? Okay, this is another one. Right, then I'm going to share you a research conducted by a Sri Lankan practitioner. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, then, so this is, now look at the topic. An action research on improving the ability of using pre-nominal possessive in ESL writing among grade 7 students at a government school. But we narrow down the kill, right? So we don't need to write an action research on. So we can remove that part. Improving the ability of using pre-nominal possessive. Now here they have taken only possessive form. English, well, a possessive form. Then students, student gay, like that. Boys school, girls school, like that possessive form. They have taken only that part of grammar. So the problem is that we are going to improve. The solution is we are going to improve the ability of using pre-nominal possessive in ESL writing. Among grade 7 students. Now it has been narrowed down to grade 7. Right? So then it should be very narrowed down at a government school. So they even you can say at an international school, at a 1AB school. So you can at a 1AB school in Gampaha zone. You can narrow down further. Our government school kinaka narrow down at a government school in Gampaha zone. So you can narrow it down. Improving the ability of using pre-nominal possessive in ESL writing among grade 7 students. So what do you feel? Grade 7 students in whole Sri Lanka. Right? Then it has been narrowed down to grade 7 students in a government school. Then again we can narrow it down, government school in the Gampaha zone. Like that we can narrow it down further. Now look at, so now this is the final one. That's why we have the abstract. So we have to write an abstract at the end of, after finishing the research only, we have to write an abstract. Abstract again, the whole thing about the research. So when we read the abstract, we can find out, we can identify the whole research. Now look at here, because you have to write an abstract. Now here, teaching English as a second language, ESL, is a huge and responsible task which requires a significant degree of experiment on the part of the ESL teacher. And now they have given an introduction. What is teaching English? Right? Over the years, second language educators have digressed from form-focused methods such as the grammar translation method and the audio-lingual method to meaning-focused methods such as community language teaching and community language learning, right? So then, teaching English කියන broad එක ක්‍රමයෙන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා teaching methods වලට. අපි එහෙම තමයි යන්නේ writing, right? So broad picture එක අපි narrow down කරගෙන යනවා. So now the writer has started with teaching English, ESL. Then it has narrowed down to teaching methods that she has been talking about: grammar translation method, audio lingual method, community language teaching, community language learning. So like that, she has been talking about teaching methods. Learning grammar structures of a second language, especially English, is naturally challenging for learners as the syntactic patterns can be significantly different from their native languages. Syntax is grammar. This study investigated, and then theory part. So now up to native languages, it's a theory part. Now here, she's talking about her study. This investigative among a grade school in Colombo. Yeah, then, so she was talking about English language. Then she gradually came to English language teaching methods. Then she is talking about her research. My research is this. So students face difficulties in English. Out of them, English grammar. Out of that, they have problem with this prenominal Colombo. Right? Now that is, she's talking about her research. The study was conducted as an action research with the primary objective. And now objectives, so we have to include the objectives also in the research abstract. Primary objective of improving the ability to use prenominal possessive forms accurately in the writing of the grade 7 student. Now her objective is to improve prenominal. This is her research. Yeah, research. Prenominal. Possessive form accurately in the writing of the grade 7 students. So if we consider about your problem, tell me one problem. A problem. Yes.
Lack of confidence to come forward to perform their performance.
Okay, lack of confidence, right? Okay. So you can talk about the students' performance at the beginning. Right? Now, like teaching English as a second language, you can talk about the performances. Then you can tell what kind of performances that students do. Then after that, you can tell that this study investigated the lack of performances of students of grade 7 in an international school in Gampaha. Right? The study was conducted as an action research with the primary objective of improving the confidence of students in participating in activities of grade 7. Okay, problem. During the first few weeks of teaching, the researcher observed several recurrent errors in their use of prenominal possessive forms such as apostrophe. A pre-test was administered. Then එයා පටන් ගන්න දෙන්නේ pre-test එකක් දීලා. So now අපිට තියෙන්නේ පෑ මේක අපේ මූලිකම එක තමයි pre-test and post-test. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා ටෙස්ට් එකක් දීලා බලන ලකුණු කොහොමද කියලා අන්තිමට post-test එකක් දීලා we compare the marks. We compare the marks of the pre-test and the post-test. ඒකෙන් තමයි අපි කියන්නේ අපේ එක improve වෙලා මේ action research එක සාර්ථකයි කියලා. So then she says that a pre-test was administered to confirm the errors and subsequently the intervention was implemented. Now she has conducted a pre-test. She has taken the marks. Accordingly, she has done the intervention. Intervention means a plan to improve their errors. Thereafter, the post-test was administered. Post-test activities karala. An improvement in the accuracy level of using prenominal possessive was evident after analyzing the responses of the pre-test and the post-test. So from the when they compare pre-test and post-test, the teacher has seen an improvement of the students related to this problem. In conclusion, avenue for further improvements were suggested. Antimata එයා කියනවා මේ මෙන්න මේව කරන්න පුළුවන් ද recommendations දෙනවනේ. So she is talking about conclusion එක කිව්වනම් හරි මෙහෙම මගේ conclusion එක මේකයි කියලා. She needs to write the conclusion and some recommendations also, right? So this is the, then you have to write keywords of your abstract, right? So you can do it with make a way. So you do this at the end of the research. Now let's go to the introduction. Right here. Now she is giving an introduction about her problem. What is her problem? She is talking about the possessive form, right? Girls' school, boys' school. Okay. So then she has given an introduction about this problem. Now here, with confidence, we are going to group work, students are reluctant to engage in group work, then you are giving some information about group work, the importance of doing group work in study. So you give an introduction about it, why it is necessary, and all these things. General discussion. So we'll see this. Possessive form is a very crucial aspect of grammar, which is indispensable when it comes to expressing oneself in either spoken or written mode. This is your idea. Then the first one is a topic sentence. One sentence should be given by the writer. It is writer's idea. Right? After that only you can take some information that you have taken from other research. The first sentence is yours. Now, the writer says, anybody who is teaching English here? How many are here teaching English? Nobody is teaching English?
I, madam.
Okay, right. No? Even there are some students who are teaching history and science. So they can take doing practicals. Now imagine there are some students who do not like the subject. Then you are going to make them an interest towards the subject through practicals, right? Or they don't like the history subject, so you are going to make an interest for them through visual aids or map marking. Like that, you can take any topic according to your subjects. Now imagine now you are an English teacher and you are talking about this problem, possessive form. So now the first sentence is in your introduction, it's your sentence. It is the topic sentence. After your sentence, we are taking some information from other research, right? Here. Possessive form is a very crucial aspect of grammar, which is indispensable when it comes to expressing oneself in either spoken or written mode. That the writer says, this is possessive form is very important in speaking and writing, especially when learning one's second language. So that is your idea, writer's idea. Then after that, you write others' ideas. As the grammarian, Stunk 1999 documents, according to grammarian, according to Stunk 1999, Stunk 1999 stresses, Stunk 1999 introduces. You can write about the writer. So here, when you are writing what he says, if you write within inverted commas, you can write the whole thing. Within inverted commas, you have to summarize what he has told. Right? If we want to tell his exact words, we can write it within inverted commas. Inverted commas, showing possession is a very delicate matter in English. If not, you have to paraphrase what he has told. You have to write on your own words what the writer has told. Stunk 1999 indicates that, stresses that, he says that. Right? Showing possession is a very delicate matter in English. In fact, possessive form is a common structure which is taught at a high beginning level of English proficiency. According to Taylor 1992, so when you are taking the literature, you have to take not these all things within 5 years or 10 years. Right? The possessive morpheme is something that right? Then, so all these things are that information he has taken about his problem. When it comes to possessive form, it was this form dimensions which is challenging for ESL learners. It was decided to examine the problematic aspect of prenominal possessive usage among the 7th grand problem introduction. it was decided to examine the problematic aspects of pre-nominal possessive usage among the 7th grade at a government school, subsequent to the informal discussion to researcher had with the grade 7 English teachers at this school. So then how she has found the problem by discussing with the English teachers. A discussion, the best thing is you have to observe. Observe correct. Or else you can tell, while marking the term test papers of the students of grade 7, it was noticed that the students showed poor performances in possessive form. While when I was teaching in the classroom, it was observed that the students are reluctant to work in groups. ඔයාතකොට ඔය දැක්ක එකක්. ඒක අනිත් අයගෙන් අහලා සාමාන්‍ය ඇක්ෂන් රිසර්ච් එකක් කරන අපි අහලා දැකලා අපිට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න තමයි කරන්න. මේ දැන් මේ අනිත් අයගෙන් අහලා කියන එක ඒක ඇත්තට හොඳ එකක් නෙවෙයි. So you have to find solutions to your problems. ඔයා තමයි encounter කරන්නේ problems. අනිත් අයගේ problems නේ අපි solve කරන්න යන්නේ, right? The data gathered from these interviews confirmed the appropriateness and the immediacy of need of such a study. The teachers admitted that the possessive form had become an eternal concern of theirs and that they did not have the time and the opportunity to take remedial measures despite the ignorance and confusion in the formation of the possessive form among the students. Now she has told, since teachers have no time to do that, I am doing. But what you have to do is, if you have a problem, you have to attend to it. You can tell that. Now, while I am working in the classroom, most of the time when I give group work, the students are reluctant to engage in them. So this has become a great problem. Therefore, I thought of finding a solution to this problem. Right? Because you have this problem, you are going to solve this problem, right? Okay. Then, therefore, it was decided that this topic is worthy of an action research where a variety of remedial activities could be implemented to see if the problem can be solved and the exact point of confusion be identified and thereby handled. Now here, you tell that, therefore, this problem is very important. So you can say, therefore, it was decided that helping the students, so encouraging the students to work in groups is a very important thing in activity-based learning. So therefore, I felt that it was felt that that immediate action should be taken to correct this measure, correct this problem. Right, then objectives. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් objectives දෙන්නේ 2 කියලා ලියලා. මේක ing නේ 2 තමයි ලියන්නේ. To identify the problems in using possessive form. To recognize the causes for the problems. To implement remedial activities to overcome the problems. To evaluate the students' performance to check the progress. To suggest solution for the problems. Like that. To කියලා තමයි අපි objectives ලියන්නේ. So you can write either objectives or questions. Right? Question form එක ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්, නැත්නම් objectives ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right? Then after that, you find the literature. Literature means what other people have found related to this problem. Right? Literature. Like this. So when you're writing literature, you can't take අර ගෙඩි පිටිය අරන් ලියන්න බෑ. මේ වැරදි මේ long PP ඒව ලියන්නේ. අපි literature ලියද්දි that we write only the name, first name and the year only. Long 1996. එච්චරයි දාන්නේ. මේ වගේ pages දාන්නේ. ඒව දාන්නේ අපි references වල විතරයි. So that's why I can guide you from step by step. So she has taken some theories. Right, then this is the research methodology. Right, so what she has done was, this study was carried out as an action research with a group of 50 grade 7 students. She has taken 50 students, right, aged 12 to 13 at a government school in Colombo during 2 months of teaching practice. There are 2 months because while she was doing teaching practice, she has done this research within 2 months. Short term කියලා කිව්වනේ. Right. Then she has used action research, right? Okay, and she has given some definitions why action research is used, right? Make it now here she has to use the then teaching research methodology එකේ දාන්න ඕනේ අපි මොනවද use කරපු tools, right? දැන් එයාගේ sample එක දාලා තිනවා 50 grade 7 students කියලා. Then මේ data collection tools, right? So you can tell that these are the data collection tools like interweaves, observation schedule, questionnaire. So you can talk about data collection tools. The method you use to analyze data. Okay, methods ANOVA, paired sample t-test. There are certain methods you can use Excel. You can tell about these methods. Right? Okay. Then intervention plan. Intervention plan means what is the plan that you implemented in order to correct this, right? The intervention plan, you can tell that this went on 3 cycles. In the first cycle, the 5 activities were conducted. Activities circle එක අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා pre-test එකක් දුන්නා. So after the activities I gave another test, and when the marks were compared, about 10 students showed problems still. Therefore I plan for the second cycle. Like that you can talk about the intervention plan. Then data analysis and discussion. Data analyze කරලා discuss කරන එක. Then activity 1, activity 2, activity 3, these things, right? Analysis of post-test and pre-test. Analyze කරාම යා පෙන්නනවා post-test එකේ marks වැඩි වෙලා කියලා. That means her effort is successful. Right. Right. Then conclusion. So then what is the conclusion? මේ වගේ මේ Vygotsky ඒවා දාන්න බෑ. Conclusion කියලා ඔයා මේකෙන් ඔයා කෙලින්ම ආපු conclusions මොනවාද? So now from the analysis of data, what kind of conclusions were drawn? Right. Then suggestion for improvement. Right. Then you have to do the references according to APA 7. Right. Then now what you have to do is you have to think of a problem. Right. Now everybody you think of one problem. Like a problem and you tell me your problem. One of you think of a problem that you are going to do the action research. Imagine you are going to do this action research. Then tell me what is one of you tell me the topic. You have this burning problem. So you are going to find solutions to this problem. Okay, quickly. Because I want to give you the research proposal. I have to ask you to do your research proposal before doing the action research. And the format දෙනවා. So you have to get an idea first, the problem first.
When grade 6 students, when writing the picture description, they always write, they always use this is and this is are, but the right grammar is there is and there are. We should use to describe the pictures.
So it is something simple. Okay. Now, if they have this kind of problem when doing picture descriptions, the students do not use correct. Now, what is the tense we have to use when we are doing picture description?
Present continuous.
Present continuous or simple present, right? Now you can write when during a picture description that the students find it difficult to use correct simple present and present continuous in writing and describing pictures. Now this is the problem. Improving simple present and present, improving the knowledge of simple present tense and present continuous of students of grade 6 in an international school in Colombo, like that. So then you are focusing on these two. Then you want to improve these two grammar parts, right? So then during the introduction, you have to find some information related to these two grammar. Grammar importance you write the importance of learning grammar at the beginning, right? And here this teacher is talking about teaching English. Then you can talk about teaching grammar for the students. So after that, you gradually come. Especially the students find these difficulties in writing picture descriptions. They do this kind of mistakes. Therefore, I am going to study, this study investigates the use of grammatical structure, simple present and present continuous in describing pictures of grade 6 students in an international school in Colombo, like that. So, you can write the abstract introduction, right? The introduction, right? First, you had to give an introduction. First, you had to write a topic sentence or your topic sentence. After that, take some information from other sources about this grammar structure. That means a simple present and present continuous. Then you write your problem. It was decided to examine the problematic aspects of simple present and present continuous among grade 6 students in picture describing. Like that, you can just narrow down your problem, right? Okay. Right. So we'll go to the proposal structure. Others also think of the problems until I show you the research proposal structure. Now you all have to tell me your problem. Get it clarified now because you have to do the PowerPoint presentation related to your problem. Right. Can you all see? No, not yet. Ne? It was not shared. Right. So this is one of the students' presentation. That means proposal presentation, right? So this is not a perfect one. I am just showing. So don't take this down because we will discuss now. Developing strategies to improve the English writing skills of the grade 5 students. So English writing skills ko meka harima broad. Apita hema liyanna bෑ. Right? Writing. කොච්චර writing ද? එතකොට developing strategies to improve present tense and present continuous tenses of grade 6 students. Right? Like this. Then table of content. You have to write. Okay. Can you write down these things? Students, I'm not going to share this one. මම මේක ඔයගලන්ට මේ කියන්නේ share කරන්න නැහැ. නමුත් මොකද මේක perfect එකක්ම නෙවෙයි නිසා. Can you write down what you need? You have to include these things in your proposal. Can you write down? Hello?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, right. When it is done, tell me. ඉවර වුණාම කියන්න. Introduction, a background of the study. Then how did you identify the problem? කොහොමද problem එක identify කරේ? Significance of the study, the importance of the study. අයියෝ මේක කරන්නේ මේක කරොත් මොකද්ද කියන ප්‍රයෝජනේ? Research objectives, research questions, close context and academic context. Close context means how did you identify the problem? By observing, interviewing, giving a questionnaire. Academic context means literature review. Are you done? Can we go to the next slide? Hello.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Then intervention plan. Intervention activity plan, time frame, ethical consideration, research limitations, references, annexures. When you're done, tell me. Finished? Hello. Have you finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. Now, this is the introduction. Now, here, now she has written a lot of things. Now, background. Okay. Now, what you have to do is you have to write some about 2-3 sentences. You have to explain. We don't write these chunks and chunks. That come because when people see this, they don't feel to read or they don't like. So you can write 1 or 2 sentences in the slide, right? Now here, it is a research. It is research that listening, speaking. Reading and writing are the basic language skills required under any educational system. People who lack these literacy skills encounter significant societal challenges. So these are not unnecessary things, right? You can talk, but you don't need to write, right? So this is not necessary, right? Right. So you can write about your problem, the introduction you can give up the possessive form. Students in students in these classes, they find this difficulty. So you can talk about it on writing only 2-3 lines, right? මේව ලියන්නේ ගොඩක්. මේක මම ගන්නක මේ වැඩක් මේකට බලා ගන්න අපි වැරදි ටික කතා කරගෙන යමු. Right. Introduction. Then identification of the problem. How did you identify the problem? Right. So now when I was teaching in the classroom, when I gave them some activities, when I was correcting their textbooks, that meant their writing books, I encountered this problem. Right. So then you can write how you encounter, how you identify the problem. Right. Then significance of the study. Why this study is very important. Now you have to tell why it is important. This simple present tense and present continuous, you can tell. Now the students need to improve their writing. Writing improve karanna. So writing descriptions, the picture descriptions is a very important part that now frequently given for the students to improve their writing. And it is a question that they get at their GCE O level. I think therefore, if they do not master this, they find it very difficult to write correct. If they do not write correct grammar, they do not use correct grammar, that it will affect their marks. Significance of the study. Study why it is important to do. If you don't do, this kind of problem will occur. So you have to write like that. Understood? Hello? So don't write these chunks and chunks. So you have to write 2-3 sentences. Then you have to explain. Okay?
Madam, we can't see the screen.
අයියෝ you මොනවද දෙනවා කී ගන්න තු හිටියනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ නේ Now can you see? Can you see now?
Not yet.
Hey, your screen sharing is paused. Hey. අයියෝ
Now okay, ma'am.
Now can you see?
Yes, now okay.
අයියෝ I was talking and you did not tell me, you can't see. Okay, right. Now, this introduction, Ane. You told that you could see and you were okay and you were writing and all. You didn't see? What you said that when I asked, are you okay? Then you said okay. You didn't see the screen? Hello?
We
Talk.
can see, ma'am.
Now, earlier, could you see earlier? Now here, this is the topic, her topic. Developing strategies to improve the English writing skills of the grade 5 students. So now, English writing skills is very broad. We should not write broad things because English...
Excuse me, ma'am. We saw this.
Okay, right. Then which one you didn't see then? You saw this.
After the introduction.
Okay. Okay, after the introduction you didn't see, okay. This one, identification of the problem. Right, you have to write how did you identify this problem. You can tell now. I was working and I am working in a school and I am teaching this subject in this grade. There, when I was correcting their term test papers and their books, it was encountered that students face the difficulties in writing correct grammar, especially especially simple present tense and present continuous when they describe pictures, right? So you have tried the problem. Now, as an other thing, now when I'm teaching history subject, I give them group work. So then the students are reluctant to, it was observed that several times the students are reluctant to work in groups. They like to work alone. But since my activities need to be done in groups, I wanted them to engage in group activities and work cooperatively. So like that, you have to give the problem, how you identify the problem. So don't write these chunks and chunks. Your slide should have only 1, 2, 3 sentences. Then significance of the problem. Significance of the problem is the importance of this. That means importance of solving the problem. So you have to tell now why it is important. Now as an example, if we consider about that grammar, you have to tell that the students need to improve their writing in English in order to pass the exam. So the knowledge of simple present and present continuous is very important because they get lots of writing in their paper, especially picture description. They need to score marks by writing using correct grammar. So like that, you have to tell why it is important, right? Understood?
Yes, sir.
So if it is group work, that is also you have to emphasize why your research is important. Right, then research objectives. I told you to identify, to develop, to make action word. Then you know that objectives should be smart. What do you smart? What do you mean by smart? Smart can specific, measurable, achievable. Then what is R?
Time-based.
R. Time bound. R can be. Oh, what is R? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic. Realistic means you should be able to do the research. Right? So you should not do that you cannot do. Right? So then to identify the difficulties students perceive in English writing skills. So you should be able to identify. You can do that. Can you do identification of the problem? Now, if you consider about these objectives,
Can.
you can. So achievable, achievable, that realistic. Realistic means you should be able to do that. To develop strategies for students to improve their academic progress in English, to broaden progress broad to develop strategies for students to improve their grammar skills in simple present tense and present continuous. Smart දෙක specific, measurable. measurable can develop වෙච්ච එක බලන්න පුළුවන් අපිට measure කරන්න පුළුවන්. develop වෙලාද නැද්ද කියලා. Smart, specific, measurable, achievable, ඒක achieve කරගන්න පුළුවන්ද? Realistic, whether we can do it, and time bound, within that time whether it is possible. Is it possible? The second one, second objective. Not this one. I told to develop strategies for students to improve simple present tense and present continuous in writing. Is it smart?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. To compare and contrast the best strategical method for improving English writing skills. Compare and contrast the best strategic method. So methods are compared and contrasted. No, this is her objective. Then to assess and evaluate the progress in students' English writing skills, right? So then we have to see whether they are smart. Objectives are smart. When it comes to research questions, these two should be compatible. Research objectives වෙන මේවයි, question වෙන මේවා වෙන්න බැහැ. To identify the difficulties students perceive in English writing skills, convert into a question. Convert this objective into a question. Question එකක් කරන්න මේක. Yes. These should be the same. Questions and objectives should be the same. එකම වෙන්න ඕන. Convert this into a question. What are the difficulties students perceive in English writing skills? Then, to develop strategies for students to improve their academic progress in English. What are the strategies that can be used for students to improve their academic progress in English? So like that, you have to convert these objectives into questions. Did you understand?
Yes.
Yes, then objectives and questions should be the same, not two different things, right?
Ma'am, how many objectives should we write?
That depends on your problem. That means depends on your research. More than 3, right? Not 2, more than 3. 3, don't write about 10. Maximum 3, 4, right? 3 to 4. Not more than that. Because you should be able to achieve them. Now here, close context. Close context means how did you identify your problem? How? Observation. From observation, you identify. By interviewing students, you identified. By marking test papers and textbooks, you identified. So like that, close context means how did you, the research problem was identified through these tools. How did you identify the research problem? By observing, by marking test papers and their writing books, by discussing with the students, focus group discussion, or by giving a questionnaire or interviewing. So you can write how did you identify the problem. Then academic context means literature. Now here she has written the name of the research, author, key findings, what were දෙක තුනක් දාන්න මොනවද ඒකෙන් හොයාගත්තේ, source එක, it's a journal article එකක්ද book එකක්ද, like that. So you can write about 5 to 10. ඒක අනිවාර්යෙන් දාන්න ඕනි. Intervention plan. Then research methodology. Did you write down? Hello. Up to which slide you wrote down? Hello.
Can you go for the 5th one, ma'am?
So don't take this as the model, right? Because there are some mistakes. I just want to show you some, the structure. I want to show only the structure, right? So don't take this as the best thing because there are so many mistakes here. Okay, right? Right. So then research questions. Then we'll go to close context. Close context means how did we identify the problem? Okay. Hello.
Okay, ma'am.
Now these are the the tools, data collection. That means how did you identify the problem? By observation, interviewing, giving a questionnaire, by marking test papers and their books, like that you have to write. Then next one is the academic context. That means you have to find at least 5 research related to your problem, and you have to write the name of the article, author with the year, key findings, about 2-3 findings, and the source, journal article the book like that. Okay. Then intervention plan. So what's the plan? Expect karna plan එක දැන් මේක proposal එකනේ. What a action research method, sample size එක, how many students, sample technique. අපි ගන්නේ purposive sampling එකක් නේ. කියන්නේ අපි හිතාමතාම නිගලන් ගන්නේ. So we with the purpose we are taking, it's called purposive sampling නැත්නම් non-random sampling. Random කියලා අපි අහමු ලෙස ගන්නවා කියන්නේ එහෙම නෙවෙයි අපි ගන්නේ non-random නැත්නම් purposive sampling. Data collection methods තමයි අපි data collect කරනවා. Observation, literature documents වලින්, say නැත්නම් from their test papers, by marking what's that? They're writing like that. You can write how did you collect data. Then intervention activity plan. So intervention එක activity කරන්න. Intervention එක identify the intervention එකේ තියෙන පළවෙනි objective එක. Identify the writing level of the students. How can you do that? ඒකට activity එකක් දෙනවා. Writing a short paragraph on myself. Steps. Provide instructions on the points necessary to be covered in the paragraph. Instructions දෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ vocabulary rules දෙනවා. Then resources මොන හරි අපි දෙනවා නම් යාට ඒවා දෙනවා නැත්නම් ඕනේ. Right? So then this is the first step. Like that you can write the intervention plan. ඔයාගේ පළවෙනි objective එක achieve කරගන්න කරන activities මොනවද කීයක්, how many activities you're going to do. It may be 10, 5, like that, that depends. Then second objective achieve කරන activities කීයක් කරනවද මේ activity එක steps කීයකින්ද කරන්නේ. So resources. Right? Time frame. That is very, very important. So now, how long do you take for this research and what are you going to do during this time? Identification of the problem. Literature review read karana, how many time, how many the duration of time. Then writing the research objectives, preparing research proposal, presenting the research proposal, implementation of the research, writing the research report, and review and submission. You can write them down. Ready? Have you finished? Can we go to the next one? Next slide. Hello. Ethical consideration means before doing the research, we have to get permission from different people. So we can't just do a research according to our wish. First, you have to get the permission from the principal. Then you have to get the permission from the sectional head or the class teacher, then the students' parents, right? So you have to. Another thing is, when we are, imagine now you have selected 5 students for your research, you can't write their names. You have to give pseudonames. Pseudonames means boruna, maybe A, B, C, D. Or you can give names of flowers to the students. Like that, you can't use their actual names. You can write, so instead of their actual names, I gave them some pseudonames, so names of flowers like that, right? So then you have to maintain the confidentiality of identification. Pseudonyms. And so these are the ethics, right? We have to maintain ethics when we are doing the research. Then research limitations. Now, when we are doing a research, though we expect to do certain things, we can't do. One thing is time limitation. So you need a lot of time, but the thing is you can't do it after school every week because the students go for tuition. So then you can't keep them after school and do this. Therefore, you select only one day to keep the students after school and do the activities like that. Yeah. Time constraint is one thing. Inangata lack of knowledge about research. Hari? Due to lack of experience in data collection and all, you can write. Okay? You can write the limitations. So, at the end, prashna tamai liyanoni meka karaddi. So, what are the problems that you have when you are doing this research? They are called limitations. Right. Then you have to write the references. Okay. Then annexures. Now here, if you give them the pre-test at the beginning, you can put them as annexures. Imagine now you want to check their writing, the grammar. You give them a pre-test. Picture description, then you give marks according to some rubrics. So you can attach the annexes here, or you can write the activity. Right? Understood? Myself gonna ලියලා. So this one has written like this. The other one has written like that. Okay. So like that, you can give the pre-test. Now tell me the problems that you encounter. Right. Any problem? Tell me. What you did not understand? Tell me. Then only that, if you talk only that, I can help you.
Madam,
Huh?
there are 5 students in grade 6. They have a problem to distinguish letters in alphabet like H
Okay.
and J and G. So can we take it as a problem?
Yes, you can take. So then you can take it as that improving, identifying correct letters. So whatever it is, that you can find it from the internet. Well, so we'll see whether we can find. Let's see whether we can find. Okay, I will share this, right? Okay. Can you see? Hello, can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now the abstract is now here. Optimization of the ability to recognize letters in early childhood. The phenomenon of improving the ability to recognize letters in early childhood in school has been implemented well, but the learning media is less varied in learning to introduce letters. This research method uses classroom action research using the Chemist and McTaggart models. Models they are used. The research involved one experienced teacher and 12 students. To see the development of the ability to recognize letters in young children, data was collected using in-depth observation of the learning process carried out by the teacher in 8 meetings in 2 cycles. So, classes cycle with a duration of 90 minutes for each observation during the learning process. Data collection techniques were carried out using observations with students in RA at Takwa Group B, totaling 12 children. Interviews with one class teacher and documentation. Observation. 12 students are observed. And teacher was interviewed. Then documents were used. The research results show that the ability to recognize letters in early childhood generally develops very well. The conclusion is that the students show abilities in developing letters and recognizing letters. Through Magic Box Media, model improve කරලා තියෙනවා. This development can be seen gradually in cycle 1 and cycle 2. So cycle 1 is 16.6, but in cycle 2 it has improved up to 83.3. The development of the ability to recognize letters in early childhood in this study is assumed to be successful because it has reached the success standard of above 75%. They make a cycle, when they finish the second cycle, the students have reached 75%. That means it is successful, right? So this game has an important role in the development of language, cognitive, physical, physical, motor skills, religious and moral. That conclusion this is very successful here, right? So this is the abstract. Go to the within keywords. Introduction එක විතරයි. ඉතින් වැඩක් නෑනේ අපිට. අයින් පොඩ. බලමු DUI එක ගිහලා. Save. If they have the PDF, so if you find these kind of things that you can find from the PDF and all. So full text PDF එක තියෙනවා. Okay. Download කරමු බලන්න. open kara. PDF download karo. Ini copy. Right. Okay. Can you see?
No,
Madam.
ma'am.
Not yet? Okay, okay. I'll share. So like that, you can just find some research articles related to your topic. Right. Can you see now?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now this is the abstract. Improving the ability to recognize letters in early childhood in school. Then the first one is your topic sentence. After that, you have written some, this is the abstract. Abstract. You can at the end of the research, an introduction. The ability to recognize letters is an important part of a child's language development and needs to be developed by providing optimal simulation from early age. So then it has been given by this person. So like that you can take even from journal articles or whatever it is something related to this introduction. Right? After that, method use this study employed the class action research methodology, chemist and MAC target model. So this is the model she has used. Yeah, use method. I showed you research cycle, like figure 3 research cycle. This one she has used. So this is a chemist and MAC target model. Or you can use that observation. Even you can use that. What is that? That model. Implementation, planning, implementation, observation, reflection. Cycle. Kurt Levin's model, right? This is Chemist and McTaggart's model. Then you can read this. So you can find some research articles related to your problem. There can be so many. And you can do a similar one. Relevant to your students. Don't copy them because they are not relevant to your problem. Exactly relevant. Don't take their conclusions. Right? So you have to write yours. Can you understand?
Yes.
Intervention plan. Okay, right. So you can like that. You can read a lot. By reading only, you can just understand. Read lot of articles. At least 10 articles, new articles you take. And when you are reading every article, you write down these things in a separate paper. What you have to write down? The topic. Optimizing children's ability to recognize letters. Topic. Then authors. Eva Novelina. Now, there's a way that API referencing වල ලියන විදිහක් තියෙනවා. ඒක අපි ලියන්නේ Novelina, comma, E dot ඒ වගේ නම් there's a way. අපි බලන්නකෝ APA referencing කියලා then you can find in which year they have written this 2023 අලුත්ම එකක්. So now you can take this article, right? So you can take this they have done last year. It's a very good article because it's a very new one. Then you need to write down volume 6, number 2, 2020, 192 to 202. These are the pages, 92 to 202. So all these things you need to write down because they are essential when you are writing the reference. So like that, in every article, when you go through, write down those things. Whether it is a journal article and what's the name of the journal, right? Even that you can copy the website, that means URL, because you have to include that when you are writing the references. Right? Any other problem that you want to discuss? You read these kind of articles, about 5-6 articles, then you can identify the way they have written. Okay, tell your problems. No problems. Hello. Anything you want to ask or discuss? Okay, now tell me. Now, you have to present your research proposal, because after presenting your research proposal, only we can proceed. So I can help you with from every stage, every chapter to chapter. For that, first you need to do the research proposal presentation that I showed you, like that one. When can you do that? Because now itself, when you go to school on Monday, you have to start your pre-test or whatever it is. So observing, you have to identify the problem. So there, you need to find some data for the problem. After that, you can do the rest. Now, when can you do the PowerPoint presentation? Tell me. Give me a date, because now the next date has been scheduled as Monday. So I don't think that you will be able to do it on Monday. So I can tell Mr. Richard to change the date, because Monday is too close. Tell me a date that you can do your research presentation. That means a proposal presentation. Quickly. Don't take much time.
I think, madam, it's better to have at least 2 weeks.
Okay, then I will tell Mr. Rishad that you need 2 weeks and discuss with you all and give me a date, right? So then, uh, so now, do you have an idea on how to do how to prepare the presentation now? As I showed you, now you know the steps.
Madam, what about the time frame? How many
Uh,
months do
that
we get?
you were not told by the campus. How long have you been given for the research?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
It's 4 months.
How long?
4
Yes?
months.
Yes, 4 months, right. So then, so I will tell Mr. Rishad that you need 2 weeks time to do the research proposal because you need to find a problem and you need to find, you have to do the pre-test or whatever it is, collect data and come out with your research proposal, right? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So then how many are there in your class then? Only 6 are here, 6 or 5. So then how can the others know? I'll ask then Mr. Rishad to send a message to everybody. Right. Okay. Then shall we wind up the class now? If there's anything that you need to clarify, tell me. Hello. Anything that you want to get clarified? Tell me.
No, madam.
Okay, right. So then get ready to do the research presentation, a proposal presentation, as I showed you, and within 2 weeks' time. So start on Monday itself. You find a problem, and if you have anything now, when we have what is guidance and counseling, you can tell me about this, right? So we'll discuss. We can have a small discussion before we do the research presentation, proposal presentation, right? Okay. So start from Monday itself. Otherwise, the time won't be enough. Okay. Right.
Okay, ma'am.
So now read a lot of these kind of articles. You can go to Google and type Scholar, SCHOLAR, Google Scholar. Then you can write the keywords and download the PDF forms related to your topic and put it in a, we call that, what's that yellow color thing? New, what is it called? Folder. Put it in a folder and collect. Then you have to take a big, or even that you can make it in your word form, name of the research, author, then date, key facts, source, like that. You can write down the necessary things. You make that then article topic, the authors, then year, volume 6, number 2, pages, journal article, name of the journal article, everything you write down. Right? Okay. Right. Now, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So we'll meet again. So if you have anything that we can discuss during our guidance lectures, right? Okay. Thank you for joining. See you next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, right.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, hope you understood today's lesson. You have
Yes.
some, yeah, you have
Yes,
some
ma'am.
idea? Okay, right. Thank you. Right.